Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to DS Asylum. I'm your warden, Dimitri Strine, and today we're here with SYMP, the Speak Your Mind podcast. So, usually I would be doing this with my man Tsubaki, but he kind of fell asleep on me. So, it is 3:06 in the morning. This is now the third time I've tried recording this. The first time it went fine, but it didn't record him at all. So, that's fucking great, ain't it? So, in this episode, whilst I try to stay awake, we're going to go over some stuff in Dragon Ball Legends. And one of the things I really want to talk about real quick is Final Form Frieza, his Zenkai. I'm sure you guys want to know my opinion on that. By himself, he doesn't really seem all that great. He's got good stats. 190,000 strike attack is nothing to scoff at. But in terms of his abilities here, he's not really getting much. 40% strike damage is locked behind being in front of a Saiyan. 20% damage is locked behind being in front of Frieza Force or Lineage of Evil. 20% damage is locked behind 30 timer counts. So essentially, 100% of the time, he's getting 20, 30, he's getting 50% damage inflicted at Zenkai 7. So it's not really, it's not amazing. Sure, there are plenty of units with 50%, damage. And when you have 290,000 strike attack, that definitely, does matter. But it's definitely on the lower end of Zenkais in terms of how much damage they can output, because he's definitely a damage dealer. He's not meant to tank. The only damage reduction he gets is this 15% damage reduction that can't even be stacked, so it's pretty useless. You won't even notice 50% or 15%. You'll notice 50%. You won't notice 15% at all, really. So I don't really think he's going to do too well on his own, but after seeing some gameplay with him, I have gotten a chance to see some 1400% gameplay with him. With Zenkai Cooler, he can definitely do what you need him to do. So if you want to run him, I would suggest having Zenkai 7 Cooler. If you do not have Zenkai 7 Cooler, I would just not Zenkai him, and I would just run LF Frieza and the Red Frieza with, whatever, Zenkai Cooler, Zenkai EX Frieza, Green Metal Cooler, whatever. I would just do that as opposed to spending 7,000 crystals on this guy. Which brings me to my next thing I want to talk about real quick. I'll go over Cell maybe later. I haven't gotten to see any gameplay with Cell, so I don't know how well he's really going to do. And I'm not going to Zenkai him myself, at least not right away like I normally do. I have nowhere to put him. 21 fills all the roles he can fill. The one role he doesn't fill is filled by Legends Road Trunks and the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So I want to talk about the banners versus events thing that's going on right now. So I'm on DBZ Space right now. You guys can't see it because I'm recording this off my PlayStation and I'm looking at my laptop right now. Two completely different things. So right now, excluding Legends Road Zenkai and the returning Zenkais that are now permanent, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Zenkai banners, a Step Up, and a Legends All-Star. So that is 8 banners. 8 whole banners that all require crystals. Now, let's say you don't care about the returning Zenkais, that being Buu and Gohan. That still leaves you, and say you don't care about LF Piccolo's banner since you can get him from the Rush Model Shop. That still leaves us with God Vegeta, Trunks, Frieza, the Legends All-Star, and the Step Up. That is still, 5 banners? That's still 5 banners, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For you to spend crystals on. And yes, I understand you don't have to summon for every single Zenkai that comes out, but let's just say you just wanted, the new ones. You just want to get what's new. That's still 5 banners. Like if you just wanted to grab what's new, that's still Frieza, Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, God Vegeta. I mean, he's not that new anymore. Like, his banner goes away in 1 day, 2 days. But, like, he's still the new Zenkai. He doesn't have daily discounts. So, there's still that. But let's just say, you know what, let's take away God Vegeta. You still got the step up banner, so who knows how many crystals it's going to take for you to pull 21 in LF Gohan. Then you have the Legends All-Star banner, where the new units, it's literally fixed for you not to pull the new units. Then you have Frieza and Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So those two are already 14,000 crystals put together, and you can easily spend the same amount just trying to pull 1 copy of Launch or 1 copy of Yamcha on the Legends All-Star. And then you can easily spend that much just trying to pull 1 copy of 21, let alone 1 copy of LF Future Gohan. So you can very easily end up spending like 28,000 crystals between these 4 banners. And the thing is, you'd only be getting 1 copy of 1 unit from the new banners, and then you'd be getting 2 full Zenkai units with the other 14,000. But my issue here is they're not giving any crystals. It's almost like they're forcing you to buy things if you do want to not miss out on anything. They're basically saying if you don't want to miss out on something, you have to pay for it. And I don't agree with that at all, truth be told. Telling people essentially that we're not going to give you enough of what you need, you have to buy it, otherwise you just miss out. That's not good. That's just not good business. Like, truth be told, that's just not good business. I completely understand step ups existing, Legends All-Star existing, you know. If you pull the unit, you pull the unit. If you don't, you don't. That's what you get into when you play a gacha game, right? Sometimes you pull the new shit, sometimes you don't pull the new shit. But when it comes to Zenkais, on top of that, Zenkais are always just going to be better than new units. So it's very hard to even try and summon for new units as it is. But then they also want to throw, 20 Zenkais at you all at once. And it's just like, well, I don't even have enough crystals to Zenkai one of these fuckers, let alone the 6 that are currently out. And on top of that, then there's all those resources you need, but that's another conversation. It would be nice if within a 2-week, maybe a 3-week span, you would be able to get enough crystals to Zenkai at least 1 unit, considering they want to do these every other week. Considering there's like 2 Zenkais a month, it would be nice if the game gave you enough crystals to Zenkai one of them every single month, and they just don't. They just don't. In the past, like, let's go to the events real quick. Let me go ahead and open this up here. Hold on, give me a second. The power of a non-edited podcast. You get to see me, or you get to watch my face as I do all of this nonsense. So, looking at the current events, everything that has released, let's just go for the past 3 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks since Blue 21 came out. So, Blue 21, I don't think gave 1,000 crystals. Let me actually check. Let me go ahead and check her missions real quick before I say anything definitive like that. Let me go ahead and check before I end up sounding retarded. Alright, Elegant Android. Let's see here. So the missions, no, not 1,000. So you have what? 100, 200, 300 crystals in total from her event. So she gave 300, and then the Majin 21 event gave you 1,000. Champion bonus will end up giving you 500, but that's not complete yet, so I'm not going to count it. Ultra Space Time Rush, that's 500 for the last run of it. I suppose I can include this run of it as well, since it did just reset today, so we can give that 1,000 crystals or so. So far we are at 2,300 crystals, and then Trunks gives you nothing. Co-op gives you nothing, and then this Cell, we can take a look at his missions as well. Let me go back here real quick. I am limited to how fast this thing wants to load. I apologize. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he does give 1,000 crystals. So that's 3,300 crystals in the past basically month. Basically, in the past 4 weeks, we have gotten 3,300 crystals from events. And you can bump that up to 38 if you want to include champion bonus, but I'm choosing not to for this specific example. So 3,300 crystals in 1 month. That is not even half. That's not even half of a full Zenkai. So in a 30-day period, they've given us 3,300 crystals, 38 if you include champion bonus. And there are currently 6 Zenkai banners, a Legends All-Star, and a Step Up. It's like, do you not see the issue with that? There's a very big issue with that, and I'm not including the returning Zenkais that are going to be here forever. Because as of right now, for those of you who don't know, Green Broly, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the Blue Broly, the Red Super Saiyan Goku, and Scouter Vegeta will all be permanent. They all are here till 2029. So they're basically permanent. And if you wanted to get them up quickly, you would need to spend thousands on them as well. Now, you don't have to. They all have daily discounts. So what I would suggest you do is just chuck daily discounts into them. It should take you, with taking 70s into account and the fact that you're probably never going to get a 500 or a 1500, it should take you around 80 days to get them from not Zenkai to Zenkai 7. So if you did one daily discount on them every single day, giving some extra room for 70 pulls, it should take you around 80 days to get them all to Zenkai 7. And that's not horrible. It's 2.5 months. I'm sure at some point, maybe like with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, you'll probably be willing to chuck 1,000 in here and there to lessen that grind. But like for Scouter Vegeta, come on. You're probably just going to end up putting daily discounts into him just for the sake of having him Zenkai'd, right? Not even to use him. Same with Red Goku, you're probably not going to use him. But Green Broly, I'd say, is definitely worth Zenkai'ing. And if you wanted to, you could wait 80 days. I'm sure in the next 80 days, movies will actually be a pretty good team. So you could argue that would be worth doing the daily discount every day for Zenkai Broly. The blue one, he's starting to show his age a little bit, definitely. But if you have LF Broly, he's great bench for LF Broly. So that by itself, if you have LF Broly, then that is a good enough reason to me to put your 20 crystals a day into him. And then obviously if you run God Key, honestly, I wouldn't even say settle for daily discounts on him. I would say if you can fully Zenkai this guy, like right now, I'd say do it. If you have a good God Key team, especially if you have God Vegeta Zenkai'd, because he's just an amazing unit. But like if you wanted to get all of these guys up in a week, 2 weeks, even 4, you wouldn't be able to do it. There just simply aren't enough crystals in the game. But that's why I'm not including them, because they're permanent and with daily discounts. So, it doesn't matter as much. But when it comes to the newer Zenkais, they're not permanent. Frieza's going to be here for 40 days. Trunks is another 22. And as I said, God Vegeta's 1 day, 21 hours. And then the old returning Zenkais that are not permanent, there's 7 days left. Pretty much 6 days, 8 days left on Boo and Gohan. And then 26 days left on Legends All-Star. And 8 days left of the Last Hope Standing. How are you supposed to summon on any of it? Because as I said, in the past 4 weeks, we've gotten 3,300 crystals. So you wouldn't even be able to fully Zenkai anything. You could get lucky, like me, pull launch in your first multi, summon on here, pull 21 on step 2. That's how I got both of them. It could happen, but a lot of people aren't going to be that lucky. So it's just a matter of how are you supposed to comfortably summon on new banners, and how are you supposed to even Zenkai these damn units when the game refuses to give any events? Let's go back here. Story events. So all of the events that are currently out right now that you can grind crystals from, is sell Zenkai and Ultra Space Time Rush. That's it. Ginyu Goku is an old event, so a lot of players have already beaten that, so that doesn't count. Super Scout Battle doesn't give crystals. Co-op missions do give a small amount of crystals, but it's nothing to talk about. And again, I'm not including Champion bonus because they feel the need to spread those crystals out across a 10-day period. But if you want to include it, then by all means go ahead. That's an extra 500. So as of right now, there are 2,000. If we include Champion bonus, there are 2,000 crystals to grind. So even if we add on to the past 4 months, which would give us 5,300 crystals, or not even, it would give us 48, right? Hold on. Because if we include Champion bonus, then I said that was 3,800. Then we have 1,000, that's 48, and then Ultra Space Time Rush, that would be 53. So we have 5,300 crystals grindable in the game right now that 100% of the player base would have access to. And again, we go over to the summons. That's not enough to fully Zenkai 1 unit, let alone 6, and it probably isn't enough. I mean, it's enough to do 1 rotation on the Last Hope Standing banner, but you've had to wait 5 whole weeks just to be able to do 1 rotation on this banner. This banner, I don't even think was here when all that started. So it's very concerning as to what they're really doing. They are really trying to push money out of everyone's pocket, and it's just hard to look at, if I'm being honest with you. It's not fun to look at all of these banners come and go and just simply not having the crystals to even touch them. Sure, you could Zenkai 1 all of these units, but Zenkai 1 isn't really good anymore. Nowadays, units are so hyper focused on being fully maxed out that Zenkai 1 just doesn't help you anymore. Like, I'd say the only unit in the entire game that's still good at Zenkai 1 is Boo. Like, Boo, Cooler, like, all of the old Zenkais are still good at Zenkai 1 because they were designed to be good at Zenkai 1. Since back then it took 21,000 crystals to get them to Zenkai 7. They needed to be really good at Zenkai 1. Except like maybe Red Goku, he's probably not that good anymore. Same with Blue Broly, you probably want both of them at Zenkai 7 nowadays. But like, same with, and also Purple Gohan and Goku Black. I mean, truth be told, I'd say the only real units that are still good at Zenkai 1 are Boo and Cooler. Maybe Beerus. I don't know. I've never used Zenkai Beerus, nor have I ever seen or fought a Zenkai 1 Beerus. Anytime I fought Zenkai Beerus, it's always been at either like Zenkai 5 or Zenkai 7. So I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand it, you know? It's so weird to release all of these banners and knowing that another one's coming next week, at least one, simply because of Valentine's Day, let alone the 1,000-day celebration, and we just get like fuck all crystals. They're really, really pushing all this money on you, and it's just it's not fun. It's not. It doesn't make me want to play the game. And for the people who can afford this crap, I'm sure they're happy. You know, they get all this shit, and all I got to do is put a paycheck into it. But like, not everyone can do that, especially since a lot of the players of this game are like teenagers, young adults who either don't have jobs at all or aren't making enough to actually afford all this crap. So it's like, how much do you think people make? Like, genuinely, not everyone can spend like Goresh. How much money do you expect people to be making? Like, you're expecting people to be coming out here with 6-figure salaries. That's just not a reality. People don't make that much money. So it's interesting to look at the direction that Legends is currently going in. I think it's just like, just buy all of our shit, and when we shut the servers down, we will thank you for all your goddamn money. Like, it's just enjoy the game however you can, and just buy what you can and feel sad about what you can't buy. that's basically how it is right now. I just don't get it. I just don't. I didn't actually mean to do that. Hold on, let me go back. I just don't get it. I want to go to the character list real quick and talk about something right here. I love how the 5 top power levels in the game are all Legends limited units. That's only because DBZ Space doesn't take Zenkais into account for some weird reason. It's interesting how high up Super Saiyan 3 Goku is. Like, he's on the 3rd row. Like, LF Super Saiyan 3, even though he's, like, not a good unit at all. It just shows you how little stats really matter. Because he apparently is in, like, the top 15 stats in the game. But he's definitely not a top 15 unit. That is for sure. Going back to Frieza real quick. His Zenkai ability is Yellow Powerful Opponent, which I actually really like. I like it a lot more than him just doing Yellow Lineage of Evil or Yellow Frieza Force. Because essentially that means he's only buffing full power Frieza. He's really only Zenkai buffing full power Frieza at that point. So it is definitely nice that he is buffing this Powerful Opponent tag with his Z ability. I'm actually quite interested to see how a yellow blue of Frieza, Turles, and LF Broly would do. I kind of want to give him the Zenkai 1 just to be able to run the team, but as I just said, Zenkai 1 isn't really good. Maybe Frieza can make it happen with Turles' buffs and Broly just being ridiculously good, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem good enough. You could also run him with Hit. You could do yellow blue of Frieza, Hit, and like LF Broly, or maybe even the final form EX Frieza, because he does Powerful Opponent with his Z ability. So you actually do have options for yellow blue Powerful Opponent, which is pretty nice. I do like the fact that they branched out and didn't just do a boring ass yellow Lineage of Evil or yellow Frieza Force. Yeah, he does Yellow Powerful Opponent, which I think is very good. He also buffs Sin Shenron. I kind of want to see how he does with Sin Shenron, or how Sin Shenron does being buffed by him. GT doesn't really have a lot these days, and having this wall be Zenkai buffed might actually be pretty good. And he's also yet another Zenkai buff for Cell. For the Yellow Perfect Cell, which is amazing. I think he can now be quintuple Zenkai buffed. I think he's now the first unit to ever be quintuple Zenkai buffed, which is goddamn hilarious. But that's kind of all I really wanted to say about Frieza. Let me move over to Cell real quick. My thing is, right, Cell doesn't seem like a bad unit. My problem is, where do you put him? Because 21, like, let me just bring up the Android tag real quick. Just bring 21 up. Where are you? All right, there you are. So the free-to-play 21 is just flat out better than this Blue Cell is. Like, everything is just better. She's got better offenses, she's got better defenses, so all of her stats are straight better. And her abilities allow her to synergize with the team that she's on a lot easier than Cell does. Because 21 is obviously a support type, so she's very good at synergizing with her teams. And it's very hard to try and run Cell on regen or androids over 21, right? And then in terms of future, I mean, we have Legends Road Trunks and the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks out right now. So you have a free option in Legends Road Trunks and a summonable one in Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So you're not going to run him on future. He's not as good as Legends Road Trunks. He's not as good as Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. And then you're not going to run him on androids or regen because he's not as good as 21. So I don't really know why they even bothered Zenkaiing him right now. I think a better option would have been the third form Purple Frieza. I think he would have been a much better candidate for the Zenkai. even over the Yellow Frieza even. I feel like you could have not done either of these, Yellow Frieza or Blue Cell, and just Zenkai'd Purple Frieza. In terms of what summonable Zenkai units I think should have released today in place of Yellow Frieza, like let's just say they did do, like our free unit was, or the free Zenkai was the third form Frieza. Just going down the character list. I think I would have liked to have seen Tapion, because Tapion was never really that good. Like, he was never bad, but he was never really that good. He's definitely pretty bad now, and movies are in a position where they can really skyrocket, but they just need a little bit more help. And I think Tapion would have added a lot to that team. As you know, I mean, I know they've got the Red Frieza, he does buff movies, but Frieza can also be run on Lineage of Evil, which is where you're probably going to run him the most. So Tapion would have been a good option. Let's see, who's not a female that could use a Zenkai? Super Saiyan Kaba wouldn't have been bad, because we could have gotten our first Zenkai buffer for Rival Universe, which would have been nice. Doing green Rival Universe would have actually been pretty busted, considering we have Vados and Jiren on that tag, and having Vados be Zenkai buffed, like, she's already ridiculously good, but if Kaba can provide Zenkai buffs for her, oh, that would just be that'd just be stupid. Like, that would actually just be stupid. And then obviously Jiren is just a hard hitting machine, and he would just gone off. He would just out of here with Zenkai buffs. Another option would have been the Red Zamasu. If you want to buff regen, I feel like Red Zamasu might have been the best option. He also would be doing Future, and they seem to want to be buffing Future again, so he might have been a good, two birds with one stone kind of unit. Give Future another Zenkai and build regen up a bit more. And then I think if we want to stick with a yellow unit, then we could have done the Yellow Pycon for the movies. Keeping with the movies theme, we could have done Yellow Pycon. Or we could have done someone like, let's see, maybe Super Vegeta. Give Bardock more units to buff. He's already an essential bench unit for that team, so he might as, like, when he gets his Zenkai, it's going to be so good. Like, that team's going to be so good. Like, actually, that team's going to be freaking ridiculous. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks wouldn't have been a bad one, but I don't think Fusions need another Zenkai right now. Yellow Perfect Cell, at this point, you might as well just give him the Zenkai. Full Power Frieza. I mean, like, at the end of the day, this Yellow Frieza needed to be Zenkai'd eventually. That's the wrong Frieza. This Frieza needed to be Zenkai'd eventually anyway, so it's not like it really matters. But I feel like there isn't really enough incentive to really summon for him. That's not summons. There's not really enough incentive to really summon for him. If you're going after a Zenkai, I would just stick with Trunks. He's better than Frieza, and his team is better than LOE. So just go with Trunks if you're trying to decide what Zenkai to go after. Or even God Vegeta if you have a really stacked God Key team. Or even Majin Buu. If you like running regen, Majin Buu is a must-have for regen, even at just Zenkai 1. I would highly recommend that anyone who has Majin Buu at 7 stars but doesn't have him at Zenkai 1 yet, don't even worry about the friendship missions, the Zenkai missions. Just put 1k in, get him to Zenkai 1, because he is, again, one of only 2 units that even today are still a goddamn menace at Zenkai 1, because he just doesn't die, right? He just refuses to die. I want to real quick go over the equips that we got just recently. Let's see where they are. So we have this Regen Blue equip right here. It does double defense and double defense. 20% to strike and blast defense, and then 12.5% to strike and blast defense for blue regen. Obviously, it was designed to be put on EX Cell, but I would highly recommend you try and grind this out. Let's see what you need for an S real quick. Let's just go like 16 and 16 and then like 9 and 9. Okay, yeah, that gives me an S. So this shouldn't be too hard to get an S rank of, truth be told. So I would definitely recommend grinding this out for 21, because she can definitely take advantage of this. And then the other equip, let's see, once this thing decides to load, is a Frieza Force equip. Frieza Force, I think this equip before Awakening was just for Frieza, wasn't it? Were you just for Frieza before, or were you still Frieza Force? Let me see. Let's just see here. Okay, yeah, it was just Frieza. So now the whole Frieza Force tag has access to it, and it's double attack, ki recovery, blast defense, and then damage against Saiyans. It's pretty good. I would definitely get it if you intend on running Frieza Force. As if anyone's running Frieza Force right now. I mean, weirdly enough, though, right? Frieza Force isn't a terrible team. The EX Ginyu Force is actually still pretty good. Like, realistically, EX Ginyu Force is still pretty good. So you can definitely run that on your Frieza Force team. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So another problem that people have been having recently is the abundance of Legends Limited units. We've gotten a lot in the past few months. Like, literally every single LF except Vegito Blue on this top list here, all 4 of them have been released in the past 3 months. So UI Goku and then Gogeta and Broly kind of makes sense, if I'm being honest with you, because we went from Black Friday, which is one of the biggest celebrations of the year, to Christmas, which is the biggest celebration of the year aside from the anniversary. So it makes sense. We can excuse them for releasing all those LFs, but the fact that they released Future Gohan right after that, people are just like, what are you doing, Bandai? What are you doing? And I kind of have to agree. I don't think they should be releasing Zenkai's. They shouldn't be releasing Zenkai's as frequently as they are, but I don't think they should be releasing Legends Limited units as frequently as they are, simply because they're fucking impossible to pull, right? And we already went over the fact that there are no goddamn crystals in this fucking game. So it's like, why would you ever pull for an LF, knowing that if you can fully Zenkai a unit, let's say you have 7,000 crystals, and you want to summon for Future Gohan, but you have a pretty stacked LOE team, and you can use Final Form Frieza. What sense would it make to summon for Gohan when Frieza's just going to be better? Right? Because, like, even if you manage to pull Gohan in those 7,000 crystals, it's likely only 1 copy, so you're only going to have him at 2 stars. Whereas Frieza, like, whatever star amount you have, Matt, doesn't even matter. It's at least 7, right? It's at least 7. So, sorry, I heard something upstairs. It was my dog walking. That's why I just froze. I was like, what the fuck was that? It's just my dog walking upstairs. So, like, Frieza's just going to be better. And there's no real point in going after Gohan when, again, you're only going to have him at 2 stars, whereas Frieza, 7, 9, 14 doesn't matter. Zenkai 7, he's better. I don't really understand why they want to release all these goddamn LF units and then release an abundance of Zenkai units that are just straight up better than them. Like, what incentive is there to summon for LFs at this point, other than the shiny animation, right? And I think that's the whole point of summoning for a Legends Limited unit, is the shiny LF animation that you'll never see anyway, because anytime you try to do one in PvP, someone just forfeits on you, so it's not like you'll ever see that damn animation in the first place. So both those things in consideration, what incentive is there to summon for Legends Limited units anymore? There is none. Like, there's literally none. So the fact that they're ramping up the amount of LFs that they release is just like, you know, maybe instead of spending so much time on these Legends Limited, on these Legendary Finish animations, maybe you could actually focus on making your game better. Like, just fruit for thought, you know? Like, you know, those legendary finishes aren't, cheap to make or easy to make. So they're using a lot of company resources to make these shiny LFs when they're neglecting their game in the process. Like, they're straight up just neglecting the entire game in the process. And it shows. It really shows. Because they're just releasing banner after banner after banner after banner after banner, and there's no events, there's no content, because content takes time to make as well. Events take time to make. Even though I'm pretty sure they just copy and paste the fucking AI on every event, they still take time to make. And you don't have time to make, 15 events every single month to actually give your players something to do and give your players crystals and other resources when you're spending all of your time trying to make 2 legendary finish units every fucking month. It's just not going to work out. You're gonna burn yourselves out trying to do all of that. Excuse me whilst I drink a bit of the H2O. Mouth getting a bit dry there. Mouth got a bit dry there. But yeah, you're gonna burn yourself out as a company trying to keep up with all of that. They're not going to burn themselves out at this rate because they don't keep up with it. Like, it's not like they're, making all these new units and there's so many events, there's constant updates, everything's like something's always happening. No, it's just banners. That's all the game is. It's just banners. I understand it's a goddamn gacha game. The whole gimmick of a gacha game is to summon, but you've got to be able to do something else, damn it. Like, there has to be something else to do. Like, what are you supposed to do in this game aside from summoning when you don't even have anything to summon with? It's just ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous how they think that any of this is good. I've heard people comparing this game to Naruto Blazing recently, and honestly, yeah, probably. And Blazing just shut down yesterday. Servers shut down yesterday. So Legends is headed in that direction. They won't shut down anytime soon. Legends, or Dragon Ball in general, just makes too much money. But they are definitely headed in that direction. Real quick, I want to go over just a few things about the Game Press tier list. I'll probably end up doing a live stream going over the entire tier list, but I just want to go over a few points. The Z tier, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not too sure that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is still the best unit in the game. Like, after fighting all of these units over and over and over again, and keep in mind, I have an ungodly amount of hours put into Dragon Ball Legends. At this point, I have the experience and the knowledge to make legitimate critiques on a tier list, and I know a thing or two about the units in the game. So I know what I'm talking about, basically. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I just don't really think, like, 100% of the time, Gohan is the best unit in the game anymore. When he's the last one alive, most definitely. But I just cannot confidently say that just when the battle starts, Gohan comes in, nothing has happened, that he's the best. I would say that Red Gogeta is better just for existing. Because he can pretty much do the same amount of damage that Gohan can do, and he's going to build up damage just as well as Gohan can do it. Honestly, he can build up damage better than Gohan can. And he's got card draw speed. Just for existing. On top of the counter, the ultimates that, does a lot of damage, healing with it. I mean, Gohan does all that too. But I feel like Gogeta has the potential to out-damage a non-last stand Gohan. And the way I see it, if you're the best unit in the game, then you're the best unit in every scenario. Not just when you're the last one alive. I would put Gohan at number 2. At this point, I think I would put Gohan number 2, and I think Gogeta would be number 1. And then after Gohan, I would end up putting Trunks, who they have in S tier. I would put Super Saiyan 2 Trunks as the third best unit in the game, because he's just fucking ridiculous. Like he's like, there's no way to explain how actually broken he is. He's just broken. And after him, at number 4 would probably be Android 18, then Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then I think that would probably complete the Z tier, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think that would complete the Z tier. So Gogeta, then Gohan, then Trunks, then 18, and then Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Those are your top 5 units in the entire game. That's kind of all I wanted to go over in terms of the tier list. Again, we'll go over the entire thing another time. This tier list is bullshit. Like, oh, hiccup. This tier list is absolutely stupid. There's very few things I agree with on this tier list. It's almost all bad. Like this tier list looks like it was made by someone who's never actually played Dragon Ball Legends. Or at the very least has only been playing it for like a month and has no actual concept on how any of these units work on their own. And one of the biggest problems I always have with this tier list is how good a unit's team is can affect how good a unit is, or can affect a unit's placement. And that's not how that should work, because it's an individual unit tier list. Meaning you should be looking at the units as individuals. That's why I don't think Bardock deserves to be in Z tier, because he wasn't even in Z tier when he first got his Zenkai. He was in S tier, and then his team got better, and then he was pushed to Z tier. That's not how that shit works. Bardock has not changed. His team has. So he shouldn't go up just because his team got better. It's very ridiculous. DKP has in the past 4 months, DKP has existed in every single tier. Like he's literally jumped between. This fucker is in a different tier every single month, and it's like, why? What is happening to Demon King Piccolo that forces him to be in every single tier? Like it's absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they have Legends Limited LF Zenkai Piccolo under the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Purple Trunks is frankly insulting. The fact that they have him over Red Frieza is insulting. Like this entire tier list is dumb. It's fucking retarded. This whole tier list is fucking stupid. And the people who run this website and who make these tier lists should be ashamed of themselves, because they're just dumb. They're just dumb. The tier list is dumb. And the people who made this tier list are fucking dumb. 42 minutes in, about to be 43. Usually these are about an hour long, but since I am by myself today, I think we might cut it a little bit short today for the SYMP. If you guys enjoyed this episode of SYMP, let me know. I have no problem doing more of these in the future. Just kind of sit down, talk to you guys at the camera, or have the camera. You know, I see myself over there, but you see me right here. Let me know how the microphone level is. I don't know if it's too loud or whatever. Too loud, too quiet. If I need to bring it up real close, or if I need to move it really far away, you know. Things can happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of SYMP, the Speak Your Mind podcast. Obviously, we will not only be talking about Legends on this podcast. It's just what this channel is about. So it's the thing that I've decided to talk about today. Again, usually I am with my man Tsubaki, but he fell asleep on me. So go to his channel and on his most recent video, type Sleepy Tsubaki in his comments and watch him be mega confused. And if you made it to this point, I do thank you all so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Join if you can. Really just help the channel out. All the links you could ever want are in the description down below. There's no music, but I mean, there are other links down there. I do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this. These are interesting to make. I can kind of just exist. I can just talk to you guys. You know, I have screen over here that you guys can't see, unfortunately, but one day I'll have the technology to do such a thing. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Real quick, there will be 2 videos today. I recorded some matches with fusions earlier yesterday, so I'll be uploading that as a second video today. So yeah, peace.